We use energy, all of us, every day in various ways. And so bottom line is, if we're using energy smarter, we're all going to save money. The more we can produce energy here in our county and on our own homes, on our own rooftops, the better that will be financially in the future. So it's a smart decision. Energy is a piece that maybe people don't think as much about because you just turn on the lights and you just turn on your car and you sort of take it for granted.
Early 1980s was kind of a window of opportunity for hydro in this state, and the board of directors looked at what they could do and found these two sites that made sense and installed both plants in 1986, blending into 1987. So they've been turning for 30 years. They generated about $50 million in revenue. So when it comes to stability to small counties, rural counties, having some generation capacity within your county is a really good thing. The other aspect of it is that 100% of the money that this district makes from this power stays in Hood River County. So we make between $1.6 and $1.7 million a year in revenue off our hydro plants. 100% of that gets reinvested in the local community.
What you're looking at is the condensing units on the roof. So the condensing units, they're where we reject all of the heat that we transfer from the fruit in the field. Going from the original condensers to newer condensers made the efficiencies of them greater. We believe the equipment will last longer. Ultimately, we reduce our utility and our carbon footprint. We could not afford to be without power during harvest for more than a couple of days. We would have to probably truck in generators, which could get really expensive. We'd definitely be very interested in what's happening to our local power grid. If there was anything to reduce our risk, is good.
We have had 3 major emergency declarations in the last year alone. This was the fire, and this is on September 15th. It was 18 days of Emergency Operations Center activation, but this was the hub for the community. Emergency preparedness is something I really care about, and is it one of those need to have or nice to haves? And you kind of think of it as like a someday thing, but really it's not. The power grid just is a major choke point, as is loss of fuel in any kind of a disaster. Communications, fuel, and you can't get around. Those are 3 of the biggest issues that you face. The cool thing is, Hood River and the Gorge, it's all about sustainability. It's all about, we're kind of small and scrappy. How can we work together and make this work? How can it be something that is better, wiser use of resources? That's what that's what Oregonians are all about.
We both felt that we were going to get more for our dollar buying a new home with the latest and greatest energy efficiency options. And having a home, that is energy efficient, that is reliable, it definitely brings peace of mind and helps with the budget long term, and having the on-demand hot water heater that isn't constantly trying to keep this big tank of water warm. The LED lighting certainly is a big part of it. We've got the mini split on-demand ductless heating and air conditioning system. We also installed honeycomb cellular blinds, which add our value to the windows themselves.
A net zero energy building is a building that produces as much or more energy than it uses. It's feeding the grid with all renewable energy produced from those solar panels. There's no reason why every new building in this county, including homes, can't be net zero energy. If we approve the energy plan as a city council, it's not going to commit us to doing a specific set of things like putting solar panels on everybody's home. It's going to commit us to a set of goals. We're going to be, as a community, using less energy per capita than any other city in the state of Oregon. That's one of our achievable goals, that we could be a model city, a model county, a model community for the whole state of Oregon and potentially the United States.
I think of energy planning, alternate energy planning, as kind of like disaster planning. It's not any longer just a nice to have. I think it's a need to have.